Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away. ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Rail fans, you have the ultimate rail fan experience.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Coach Murray Show. Well, I've been looking forward to this one since Friday night, Coach. I was ready to. You could have come up to the press box Friday night, and we'd have started right then with the show this week.
Do it, huh? I don't know if I'd have been much to say much. Couldn't hardly talk, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm happy for all the the fans that and families and fans. They deserve this. They've been following us, supporting us for going on their second year now, and hadn't had a lot to get real fired up about, and that certainly was one.
That was a moment right there.
You're not breathing if you didn't get fired up about that. I was happy for the kids, and I'm happy for this community as well.
I know, obviously, your first win as head coach will always be one of your biggest. But this past Friday night, that has to. I mean, you're earlier in your career, obviously, as a head coach.
Yeah, I mean
that's huge Friday night.
Well, it was the first region win that I've had coaching. We lost them all last year, and to get the Swamp War, get that was a big thing. I mean, I talked to people from the AJC, to Georgia Public Television all week last week. They want to know about the Swamp War, and I realistically, I told them our boys are just going to show up and just play for 4 quarters and hope we're there in the end and see how it goes, and that's what happened. I was just about as shocked as probably they were, but it just goes to tell you, I think the boys learned a lesson last week, and me as an adult, and too, the coaches as adults, we learned a lesson, that hard work pays off, and and they did that, and they did exactly what we asked them to do, and of course we'll get into that, and we pulled it out.
Yeah, I know. You could actually feel it in the first half. When the first half ended, that's the first time I've been over there in a while where when halftime ended, their side of the field was completely quiet. It's like we had them shell-shocked right there in the first half when it was 6-6 going in.
Yeah, we tied it up on the field goal. Wyatt did a great job this week, and he tied it up, and it seemed to kind of change, like you're saying, a little bit. Even they came out the first time they had the ball in the third quarter and scored, and we didn't let it affect us too much. I mean, the kids just they did what we wanted them to do all week. Dig down deep and play, and they did that.
They certainly did. I know you have some stats you want to hit on. You want to dive into them now, Coach? And I'll throw them up on the screen as well.
Stats are wonderful and stuff. And we got we have some kids that really stood out. But I'm just overall proud of the guys that stood on the sidelines that yelled just as much as all the way to Jalen Lilly. A sophomore that had a heck of a game. You can see up on the screen. He by far is our player of the game. He had like 95 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns, and he would have had more than that. He had some bad snaps. One that he couldn't handle, and one was a bad snap. But he lost about 20 yards on. And he had another opening kickoff. He returned for 17 yards and went through 2 tackles.
Yeah.
And then he also led the defense in tackles. He was on 9 tackles. 5 solos and 4 assists, and he and Najee Smith, they both finished the night when they were on 9 stops, and and he's even though he's a sophomore, he's emerged as a leader. He out at practice, he he really leads by example and tries to talk people up, and he's always the first. You know, he's kind of a spiritual leader too. He's looking out for the total kid. You know, looking out for all of them. You know, making sure they're doing right, so on and so forth, not just football aspect. You know, and Tony Cobb ran the ball hard. I mean, he ran it for 25 times, and you know, and 25 times, 76 yards, but those were tough. Some of those were tough runs.
yards.
I mean, they had a huge defensive line, and which, you know, last year I bet we didn't have. I don't remember us getting a first down until the third quarter. And we started out this. You know, I told Coach Phillips we got, you know, first down on that third play. I said, "Congratulations, Coach. We're already further than we were last year." And he said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "I'll tell you later." You know, and I told him that, and he got a kick out of it. But you know, we ended up getting 13 first downs the whole night, compared to their 14, and you know, and with our offense, I think it was 76 plays, and with our type of offense, that kind of goes against what we kind of our philosophy on it, but you know, you got to do just like against Sloan County, you got to do what's there, and
take what's given.
Takes what's given, and the kids just grinded, and did just enough, you know. There wasn't anything real miraculously pretty about it, you know, except, you know, I know the end was beautiful, but
it was.
You know, the kids just grinded, and they couldn't be denied, you know. But we had the ball out there, I think about 76 plays, and got 13 first downs out of the deal, and you know, that's just a huge accomplishment that we've had, you know, over the past year. And like I said, you know, after on one of the shows earlier this year, that, you know, what you're seeing now is not something that's just happened. It started happening last year. You know, we had these young kids. We threw them in, instead of them sitting watching a senior or a junior play, they had to step in and play. And we took our lumps last year with them, and now we're seeing a little bit of rewards.
Yeah, you're paying some dividends right now.
Yeah, they are. They've really worked it, and it's not just the sophomores. It's these older guys too. You know, I have a few 7 seniors, and you know, they all working hard, and it's just not. You know, I guess what you say, the fruits of our labor isn't just from this year; it's from what they put in last year.
Yeah.
And I'm so tickled about that. I think they're learning that lesson that, you know, well, we worked this hard, and when they get out there in life, they know if they work real hard, the payoff might be not that day, not that week, but it'll be in the end if you do the right thing. The payoff will be there for them. So I hope they're learning the lesson there. We also had, you know, with the rushing, I said, you know, I'd already mentioned, but Tristan Herron, one of our senior wide receivers, he finished with over 100 yards receiving.
He had a huge night.
He did have 4 catches that were great. One of them was knocked by one of their players up in there, and he caught it on the way down. And he ended up getting, you know, and I haven't seen this in a while, he ended up getting their cornerback, it was a cornerback. He ended up having to get moved. They pulled him and put another guy over there, and I think he still caught one more after that. But yeah, he did a great job, and you know, I saw something out of him I've never seen before. I saw him actual emotion out there, and it tickled me how excited he got. And I was excited for all of them, but I was excited that they were excited. And I think we had a quarterback club meeting last night, and we showed the highlights and films, and both coaches, I let the offense and defense coordinators, Coach Phillips and Coach Jones, run the film, and Coach Jones stopped. He goes, "Let me tell you why I like this play. It wasn't because we got the interception and he said, but look at the sideline. Everybody on the sideline was running with him, and we were excited, and I'm sure it was that way in the stands. And you know, I heard a lot of positives. I'm sure there's negative stuff too going on in there, but you know, the people that were there, and we had a crowd. You know,
we drew a good crowd there Friday night,
and I don't know how many tickets we sold. We could only sell 600 here, but sure did look like there were more than that up in the stands. But you know, I
was told Friday night that we actually had people go over without tickets, and they let them in anyway.
Did it? Well, they may have. You know, because I was talking to Coach Tyson last week, and he was like, "Man, we've missed 2 home games." You know, that's the biggest fundraiser a lot of times is games. You know, getting people into the gate. That really is. And
well, it's a huge gate game for either us or them. And when you cut that out, that's a big hit on a program, especially a Class A program.
Yeah, that's right. And But anyway, you know,
Here's a stat we have up. I still have it up on screen, Coach. I hope you don't mind. But the one that would really surprise me is Clinch putting the ball on the ground 5 times Friday night.
well, you know, that's something I was going to talk about, you know, why we were able to win. You know, we were able to win because, you know, and you know, I coached back for 25 years, and things that I felt were important, you know, I wanted to hold on to. One of the things is to try to tell these kids and, you know, set the price of victory real high, as high as you can get it. Some teams aren't willing to pay that price. You know, it was the same way when we were real good here. You know, we get against an opponent and they'd say, okay, you're going to beat us, but this is what it's going to take. And that's what we did the other night. We said, okay, you know, you should beat us, but this is what it's going to take for you to do that. And our kids played hard, and like I said, you know, the fumbles cost Clinch. You know, like you said, they had 5 of them. You know, we got 3 of them, and you know, we turned it over one time. We lost it. We lost one. You know, and that was a plus for us. We only fumbled 3 times, and I believe the way he had it, 2 of those were on snaps. So they weren't just fumbles. But yeah, that's kind of uncharacteristic of them. But you know, you gotta, you know, let's be real about it. They were off for 4 weeks.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time, and you could tell they were rusty. They were cramping up. You know, we had our game feet per se on us, and you know, and I think he feels the same way, and Clinch does too. I don't think they'd feel sorry for us if the, you know, the shoe were on the other foot. You know, it's just the way. Unfortunately for him, that's the way it worked out.
Yeah.
We certainly gonna take it. I don't want to, you know, forfeit it on that account. You know, because our kids work hard just as anybody else, and they deserve that. And you know, that's a reflection of how hard we played and how hard we said, hey, if you're gonna beat us, it's got to be way up here. You know, if you just up our chin, you ain't gonna do it. It's got to be over our head if you want to beat us. And by them putting the ball down 5 times, you know, that meant they weren't really wanting to pay the price. You know, it just worked out that way.
I know the other stat right here on the bottom right-hand corner. I just cleared the screen of it. But you've been singing his praises the last few weeks, and you've been saying that if Wyatt Cruz got in range, you were going to try it. And the young man came through not once but twice.
I thought he was going to get a chance to kick the game winner. I seen when it pulled down to the 4th quarter. I really felt like we had a chance where we were going to win. I felt like that. I said, we get this. I hope we don't let it slip away. And then we had the bad snap, or the bobble snap. It really wasn't that bad, but I don't know what went on between the 3 of them. But we didn't get to kick it, you know, and got stopped there. I said, oh my goodness, they're going to march down the field and score on us, and they fumbled or something like that. And you know, we got up back and fumbled, but Wyatt did a great job. I mean, I watch him out here at practice, and he gets so mad because I protect him so much because he's, you know, he's our kicker. That's an important job he does.
Yeah.
And he wants to mix it up and things like that. And I told him, well, I said, you find somebody else that can kick just as good as you, then we'll talk about it. But he's been real consistent the last couple of weeks. At Tift area at pregame, I stood there and watched him kick. And he just didn't have it going on that day. And it caught a lot of heat. You know, I heard people talking about, why didn't we kick it when we got inside the 20 or whatever. Well, it's because of what I saw pregame. You know, like those people didn't see that. He was just having trouble lining it up. But against Clinch, you know, the other pregame the other night, he was nailing them. And I said, okay, if we get a chance, and you have to. And, you know, I thought that might be the only chance we got points. And it was. You know, we scored – we ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, but you know, we had those 2 field goals were huge. I mean, they made the tie ball game in the first half, and he's done real well, and he works hard at his craft. You know, he hadn't had, you know, going off to these kicking schools and stuff like that. Coach Brooks works with him a lot, and I hear Jeff Doggett, you know, Jeff from down there at St. George, he tells him a few things. I don't know if Jeff kicked back when he was in high school or what, I don't know. But, you know, I don't mess with Wyatt too much. I just tell him, I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you kick it front, kick it with your heel, your knee. I don't care. Just get it through the uprights.
That's all you're worried
about. That's all I want.
Results.
And he's done a good job with that, you know.
Well, kickers are always an unusual breed anyway. They kind of do their own thing anyhow.
Yeah, he doesn't quite get over here to the game field. We're on the practice field the whole time, but he's over there a lot. You know, he's got him a little stand he kicks from, and I don't know how many times he kicks, but he kicks a lot.
Let me ask you, what was going through your mind that last series right before Jalen scores? They have the bad snap. We get the ball back. I think we're inside the 30, thereabouts. First down. You call the play, and there's a wide right. What goes through your mind? Not when you see him running a touchdown, but right as you see that snap go wide right before he picks it up.
Oh, well, it's just like I said earlier. You know, I said, dang, we're just not going to seize this opportunity. And the ball went over his head or to the side. And I said, oh, my gosh. But Jalen, being the type of kid he is, he made something positive out of a terrible situation. And he's slow to tackle now. Jalen, you know, he's power cleaning 280.
Yeah.
And he's squatting on up there about almost 500 pounds. And
he's not a typical Class A running back.
Yeah, he's you know, and he's benching over 3, so he's a pretty good load. And you know, and like I said, he's a competitor. And he had that ball in his hand, and that's a good one to have in the hand in that situation, because he was going to take it to the house, which he did do. And I'm tickled to death that he was able to do it.
Then you had we score, they get the ball back, and then I believe it was Hamilton, right? Gets to pick at the end
The
and
game
seals it up for us.
Jabari Hamilton. I don't know if you noticed or whatever, and you know, they had like a wide play, and where he was playing corner, and he's supposed to keep that outside leverage and keep it turned in. Well, he gave it up, and they marched down the field and scored that scoring drive they had in the first half. And you know, I chewed his butt a little bit, you know, not too much 'cause he's a freshman, but, you know, he learned from that because he turned the sweep in a time or two, and then he got that pick at the end. I thought was great for him, you know, and him being as young as he is, it had to have boost his confidence, and I'm tickled to death for him.
Well, that was an awesome play and the whole night. And you talk about, you've mentioned the fans already, the band of pride, the band, Dylan Sloan, just having a ball over there with the band. They kept that crowd pumped all night.
Yeah, Dylan, Mr. Sloan does a great job with the kids. So does Mr. Hersey, but Mr. Hersey's like me. He's an old guy. You know, Dylan still got some young in him, and he loves it. He's a Charlton County. He's a band director, but he's a Charlton County Indian fan. You know, alumnus here, just like I am. And when I go watching softball like last night, I had to leave because I was about to start getting loud and stuff because I root for those girls so much, and you know, and he's there. He's supporting us now. We got his support. He runs. Well, you saw the pep rally that you covered. He runs the pep rallies, and he did such a good job when they let him do it one time last year. I think that's his permanent job. I mean, he's not even out at the high school, but you know, he did such a good job being, you know, positive, whatever, just real enthusiastic that he brings a lot of energy out there to a ball game. You know, he's got a big, and he gets that band fired up. And you know, I look back there time to time because my daughter, she's a majorette, and I can see her with her shakers and screaming, and you know, and I'm glad they're getting into it, and I'm glad we won for them too, because it's tough, man, after a loss having to go. You know, they love for us to sing that alma mater. You know, and I'm glad we do a tradition we started years ago, and it's tough to sing that thing after a loss. Yeah. But I tell you what, it was sweet to sing it Friday.
It was sweet. It was sweet Friday night.
And the kids love it too. You know, my daughter, she's a auxiliary, so she had to play a horn, so she's up there singing with the other girls. So it's pretty cool.
I used to ask Coach Mack a couple of times. I'll ask you. You know, when Darby was cheering back when Coach Mack was here, how hard is that as a head coach with you? Having a daughter as a majorette, you wanting to see your daughter, but you also have responsibility on the field.
It's tough, you know. I didn't get to see her perform at all last year, and I'd hoped to get to see her this year, but we've gone 5 games and I haven't got to see her yet. I'm hoping that it'll happen, but she understands. I watch her, you know, practice, you know, and things. I take her. She goes to the weight room, and she was going to kill me if she finds out we're talking about her on here so much. But she goes to the weight room, and you know, and twirls in there and stuff, and she understands, and she knows I want to be there. But I sure get a thrill out of watching her do it, you know.
No doubt about it. Hey, Coach, anything else on the Clinch game you want to hit on before we take a break? We'll come back and we'll hit on Turner.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we can wrap it up. Like I said, I'm excited about how the kids played, and you can look at these stats all day, but the biggest stats there at the bottom of the scoreboard. And I guess we go to this break, we won't talk about it anymore. We just live in our memories. It's a good.
We can
memory.
leave that scoreboard up during
it's a good. It's Wednesday. We moved on out there at the for practice. We haven't even mentioned it. Because the kids they know we got a step ahead. We're a step ahead, but we got more steps to progress to where we need to. The guy from that Todd Holcomb from the AJC talked to me yesterday. I was the coach for the 4 questions. I don't know if you know that, but
no, I didn't know that.
Anyway, he asked me how things were going, what he thought the state of the program was. Because he knew how it was last year. And I got this answer. I think we're headed in the right direction, and we know as coaches and the kids know as players we're not there yet, but we're headed in the right direction. As long as we're doing that, we're getting where we're supposed to.
You're going in the right way, yeah.
And this win certainly helps to solidify what we're doing.
Yeah.
And but we got 5 more ahead of us. This region that we're anxiously looking forward to, and they're huge challenges, every one of them. There's not a gimme.
There's not a night
There's
off
not a
in this
gimme
region.
in this region. Last year we lost every one of them, and we have to feel like that we have something to prove, that hey, that they're better than us, that we're the ones that got to prove that we're better than them this year, because they beat us last year. All 5 teams, all 6 we played last year. So anyway, and we're looking forward to Friday night.
No doubt
we'll
about
talk
it.
about that when we get back, I guess.
We're going to jump into Turner County here in just a minute. I got to say, Coach, this is the first time in 9 years I've done a coach show that we've left the scoreboard up there. That was a special one, Coach.
Okay.
We enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. We'll be right back. You're watching the Coach Murray Show on CSN.
You stay at Railside Lodging in Folkestone Funnel Crew Headquarters, just yards from the rails themselves, with 30 and 50 amp hookups with a dump station. Just sit, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of rail life. Peaks Cabin and Chessie Caboose are directly across from the train watching platform as well. Call today and book your ultimate rail fan experience.
Ruslan Dixie Custom Framing, Unique Gifts and Cafe is located at 3742 Main Street in downtown Folkestone, Georgia. Lunch is served on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come join the fun food and fellowship, whether you're a local tourist or a rail fan. We also serve Bluebell ice cream, coffee, and lattes, while we also have train designs on custom t-shirts and unique gifts. Come see us.
Hey Indian fans! United First Credit Union has been helping people afford life since 1943. Our free online banking and mobile app make it easy to check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills. And we offer some of the lowest loan rates in town. Joining our credit union is easy. We are conveniently located at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone. So stop in and experience the credit union difference. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
We'll go ahead. Welcome back to the Coach Murray Show. Coach, we just got through talking about Swampore came out on top. And it doesn't get any easier. Now we've got Turner County coming to town. Youth night this Friday night as well. All the youth football players from around the area and cheerleaders are invited to come out, wear their jerseys, and be a part of the pregame.
Right. They'll be that, and it's always good to have the younger kids around. And you can see. A lot of people don't think this because they don't really know, but I've been doing this for 26 years on the sidelines. And seeing those kids come wreck night, you can see the sparkle in those little guys' eyes, because they look up to our guys, and our guys get a kick out of it too.
They were there once.
Yeah, that's right, and it'll be fun having them around, and hopefully we could get a win out of it.
It's going to be a packed house, I imagine. I know over here we don't require, but we encourage mask, encourage social distancing. But we're not capping the limit in the stadium, so it should be a good crowd in here Friday night.
Yeah, Coach Cruz is going to sell a ticket if he can, and I don't blame him. I'm glad he does, because because I mean, you know, I can sit there and show you the bills that we rack up, and we don't have anything fancy now. It's expensive. The sport of football is expensive. You know, these 2 helmets we got sitting right here, they're actually out of date. We don't use them anymore, but they're a helmet's going to cost you a bunch of money. You're looking at $300, just $300 just for a helmet. You know, it's crazy. But,
it is. It takes, people don't realize. I mean, you just look inside this locker room here. There's a lot of money in here. It takes to operate this team year in and year out.
That's right. One thing that, you know, I learned is we're going to buy the best equipment they had to protect the kids, because that's protecting them from injury and permanent injury, you know, and things like that. So we're going to have the best equipment that we can get for them, and we don't slack on that.
Well, we've got the Turner County Rebels coming to town. They didn't leave the region like Telfair and Wilcox did. Turner stayed in, but this year they have to make that 3-all ride to us.
Yeah, that's right. They have to, you know, last year I felt like that was a game that we let slip away from us. You know, they were on top. I can't remember the score. It was 2 touchdowns, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't much. We were in that ball game all night.
You know, but anyway, you know, year later, they've got a new coach, and I tell you what, he's got them. I think they're 4-1 now, maybe. They've only lost to Fitzgerald, who's a dang good ball team. They beat Pierce this past weekend. We know how good Pierce is. That's the only loss they have on the season. You know, they had at the beginning of the year, they had like 4 preseason All-State guys. The thing is, they run on offense. They run it well, but they also throw it well too. And they have a ton of plays. Coach Jones, I think I ran out of paper 3 times, reams of paper, him printing off plays that he drawn up that that they're running. And you know, you can look over there at the binders. We got over there sitting on the coach's office of all the plays they run. And the thing is, they don't just run them just to have them. They run them pretty well. So. Anyway, they got the good sized backs, and they also can run too. You know, their quarterback can throw it.
They always have athletes over there.
Yeah, and they're
year in and year out.
And their line, their down people are pretty big guys, but they also can move too. You know, a huge challenge ahead of us. You know, on defense, their box as their inside, their defensive line, and their linebackers, they're solid. But the perimeter is just something they got a pretty special defensive backfield, and it's going to be tough for us to throw on them. You know, tough to run. We got to find some kind of chink in that armor. But you know, once again, we challenge the kids this week, and you know, just from the time it's kicked off to the time that buzzer, you know, that final horn goes, they got to play hard. You know, we just got to play hard.
4 quarters.
Yes, sir.
4 quarters. What are we expecting? I know last year out of Turner, we know what that offense is, but with the new coach coming in, what are we expecting out of them this year? I know you mentioned that a whole playbook, kind of stuff.
They have a ton of plays, and I guess it's more so formation as plays, but they have a lot of plays, a variety of plays, and they have formation to death, and they do a little bit of motion and stuff too. But that quarterback, he can really spin that thing. He can throw it, and you know, we just got to be set on all phases of the game on defense to stop anything at any time. And on offense, we can't make mistakes. We have to, you know, if we have to grind it, we'll have to grind it. You know, I don't see us being able to go over the top too many times. You know, who knows? You know, we're just gonna have to grind it out. Maybe if we can get 70 something more plays, that would be awesome. I'd take it right now. But you know, we'll just have to see what's going on. You know, our game plan is just our game plan is more about ourselves, just playing hard.
Do what we do.
Yeah, and it should take care of itself. I mean, but you know, that's neither here nor there. We say it, you got to do it though.
We saw something a little different Friday night. Y'all seem to be adding different things as the season's going. And this past Friday, we saw King come out with Lily and Cobb in the backfield together a lot more. We're going to see more of that, or is it just going to be like a balanced thing?
Yeah, we had one of those packages in. We felt, I mean, gosh, with Clinch, we were just wondering what we could do against them, and Jalen's strong, and we, you know, there we could have used him as a blocking back, as quarterback, or as a running back and have Tony lead for him. You know, so that was our best option, you know, and I think it kind of got Jalen King's attention that, hey, I mean, he's a big kid. He's 6'3", 185 pounds.
Yeah.
He can run too. He just got to decide that he wants to do it.
Right.
And I think that might have got his attention a little bit, but we're still going to go with that. And, you know, we had, you know, Coach Phillips's playbook is you know, it's pretty thick. You know, we've just touched it on the top of it, you know. You know, and it's not really complicated, but it's stuff you got to learn. And with us missing the OTAs and stuff this summer, we just kind of, as we go, we're adding to. And by the time we're through, we're going to have a ton of plays and ton of formations and stuff, and we don't really know where they came from because we do it little bit by little bit.
Yeah.
So
Instead of throwing it all at them at one time and just y'all kind of feed it in.
yeah, you have to. I think that's how you have to do. I mean, that's pretty much my philosophy about things. You get something, a core group. What you have, I say core group, a core set of plays. You know, one particular set of plays that you build your offense around, and that's kind of what Coach Phillips has done when he's got. Now, I don't know if that's his whole philosophy about it, but I know that's the way we've implemented here. Let's teach them the basics and then build off of that. You know, and I think now, you know, that's the best way to teach young kids is, you know, give them a core and then build off of that core.
All right. With Turner coming in, their defense, seems like it's always, with the exception of last year, I mean, but it was still, 20, I think it was like 26-16, something like that last year, but it's always been a high-scoring contest, it seems like, between us and them.
Yeah, you know, I hope, like I said, I hope we can keep up with them and we can stop them a little bit on defense. And we're not poor-mouthing here. I mean, if you see them on tape, there's something else to look at. They don't have a lot of players, but that doesn't necessarily mean much either. You know, what they're keeping is the best. What they got out there is the best they got on the field from Turner County. So, you know, I'm just hoping we can play with them.
I heard that. We'll get them, Coach. I got faith in you, especially after this past Friday night. I tell you what, you've really galvanized the fan base over here.
Well,
that win the Friday night was huge.
That's you know that. You know, I tell my kids all the time, you know, nobody is bigger than this program. Me, them, you know, you, but it takes all of us, you know, and everybody deserved what we got Friday. No more than these kids in this locker room now. They deserved it more than anybody. And,
these are the guys that are doing the work.
Yeah, and I told them, but everything revolves around you. If you want to give the people something, then you've got to do it because they want you to win, but they can't go out there and do it. And, you know, and I appreciate those words, but we're just trying every day to get to where we want. Where do we want to get? We want to get back to make Charlton County relevant again. You know, this stuff on the wall is behind us, you know. You know, Coach Mack and myself and other coaches that were here, you know, it was an everyday thing, and it just happened. You know, it was an everyday thing, and we got hit with big-time losses with graduation, you know, and you know, maybe it was some stuff last year that I did. Who knows? But the stuff we're in the right direction, and we got to keep headed that way. And hopefully we'll be there sooner than later for everybody.
All right, Coach. Hey, Friday night, it's a youth night, but I know with the COVID and everything, are we handling that different? Are we still doing the walkthrough? I know that's such a tradition here.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see the band on there for pregame. I'm not sure why we're not doing it. But I understand that, you know, we're taking our precautions, and I assume that's a board, Dr. Lashley decision, or Mr. McCoy. You know, I mean, all I can worry about is what we do.
Right.
You know, and that's all I'm concerned about is keeping these kids healthy. And, you know, I tell them all the time, and I know it's awful to say, don't be stupid, boys. And y'all wear your mask when you're in public. Try to stay 6 feet apart, you know, and things like that. You got to be proactive about this thing, and you can't just be reactive because by then it's too late. I don't know what exactly they have planned. You know, hopefully we could get some more, you know, the guys can be on the sideline with us and we'll be able to pat their hands and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe shoot them an elbow or something.
Well, in fact, we don't have rec football here this year, which is a tragedy. Hope we can work on that next year. But we got the Glover boys the Glover brothers with their traveling team. Those guys, man, they played for us, and they do a great job. They practice right there on the field where we're at.
Right, yeah, right
They're
there.
usually practicing about the time they start, about the time we get finished. So we interact with them, but not actively.
Yeah,
There when we
you're
leave.
not like that.
Yeah, when we leave practice, we're coming there with them. But maybe they'll be able to do a little bit of, interaction. I know when my daughter she did the cheerleading thing and the majorette thing. She was always big time for her to get on the field and twirl. And I hope they let those little girls. I don't even know if they had the camps so this year. Come think of it, I don't remember. But if they had the little camps for the little,
I have no idea.
little majorettes and cheerleaders, but it's an exciting time for those kids, and I love seeing them out there, and I hope it's something we can continue to do, and I hope it's just not ruin. I hope it's just not terrible for everybody on Friday. I hope it's a positive thing.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see them be able to do it. It's something which I know, like you said, everybody has to be proactive with this thing. But it's some things that just don't make any sense to me about it. Like when over in softball, girls ride on the bus together, they're in the dugout together, but when they have a meeting on the pitcher's mound, they have to stay 6 feet apart. It's just little things like that. There's so many inconsistencies with it all. But I understand everybody has to be proactive in doing what they do.
I don't see why we can't shake hands after the football game.
Yeah.
Because, we spend 2.5 hours
battling each other.
On top of each other. Can't shake hands after the game, but, it is what it is.
Exactly. All right, Coach. So I guess I'll try to find out from the school about the pre-game ceremony, because I know you have other things on your mind with the game itself, and we'll post that on our Facebook page for the youth and all. Okay. And I'm sure the rec department will be doing something. I'll get with the Glover brothers. We'll try to figure all that out and get that up on our Facebook pages. Kickoff 7:30 Friday night. Rec ceremony, assuming the pregame for you guys, and a big football game Friday night versus Turner.
Big one. It's the next one, but it's big because it's big.
It's big.
They're 1-0 in the region. We're 1-0 in the region, and we're not playing the big three. Neither one of us is big three, so it's important to get wins against not the big three. We got one.
Yeah.
I feel like we're playing with house money a little bit, but we sure don't need to lay an egg Friday night for sure.
No doubt about it. All right, Coach, I appreciate you as always. Anything else you want to hit on before we bug out?
No, that's it. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all Friday night, kickoff 7:30, live from right here in the swamp, Champ Bailey Field. Y'all be sure and pack the house. Be smart. Wear your mask if you want to. We'll see you Friday. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
The Running Bear Outpost, located in the heart of Traders Hill Campground in Folkestone, Georgia at 1388 Tracy's Ferry Road, just yards from the St. Mary's River, where there's great fishing, boating, beach fun, and more. We have all of your camping needs, from ice and snow cones to boiled peanuts, drinks, snacks, and so much more. Charcoal, Coleman fuel, and camping supplies. Come and join the river or camp with us under these peaceful, majestic oaks for just $20 a night, full hookup for RVs and campers, or $10 a night for tent camping. We look forward to seeing you in the Running Bear Outpost. Come out and relax a spell. Gowan Aldridge Insurance, located in Kingsland, Georgia, is proud to serve the communities of Charlton and Camden counties, offering life, home, car, and business insurance. See Andy Gowan today for your insurance needs. Phone 912-729-7600 for more information. Protecting you is what we do. Gowan Aldridge Insurance is a proud sponsor of the Charlton Sports Network. Four Seasons Floral, located at 4415 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, has all of your floral needs covered, from Valentine's to birthdays and weddings to life celebrations, proms, special occasions, or just to say you love that someone special. We deliver as well. Call 912-496-7043 and we'll assist you with any floral need at Four Seasons Floral.
It's Ram Power Days at Walker Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And to celebrate, we're offering this jaw-dropping 2020 Dodge Ram 2500 HD Limited with a 6.7 Cummins diesel and all the bells and whistles. Wait for it, $7,000 off and 0% for 36 months. $7,000. And of course, Walker Jones is the home of the lifetime warranty. Guts, glory, Ram. Walker Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at WalkerJonesChryslerJeepDodge.com. Some restrictions apply. See details ends 9/30/20.
Okefenokee Sportsman is locally owned by Fred and Rawling Coley, who have loyally served the people of Folkestone, Georgia, and surrounding counties for 17 years. Hunting and fishing supplies, as well as live bait, are our specialties. Join us on Saturday, October the 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. to mix and mingle with vendors from the hunting industry and enjoy live music from Matt Knowles. Local, loyal, and laid back, Okefenokee Sportsman.
Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need, bumper to bumper, for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Big Sammy, Little Sammy, Miss Pam, Rocky, Stephen, Dave, and Miss Joe at Folkestone Auto Supply.
Charlton Electric, now serving Charlton and surrounding counties. With over 20 years experience in both commercial and residential services, our electricians can meet your needs. We offer installation on whole house generators, service upgrades, mobile home services, troubleshooting, ceiling fan and light fixture installations, and much more. Call us today for an estimate at 912-276-7661.
Tri-City Insurance is a proud sponsor of Maiden Softball and Indians Baseball. Give them a call today for all of your insurance needs at 912-496-0020.
For nearly 20 years, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives have made Friday night football electrifying. As the official energy provider of the GHSA, Georgia's EMCs are proud to support high school athletics in the communities we serve, standing behind every hike, every completed pass, and every team celebration. Because we know that today's high school athletes are tomorrow's local leaders. Georgia's EMCs.
Gant AC Heat and Electric, located at 141 West Love Street in Folkestone, Georgia. They service all makes and models of air conditioning and heating units, electric and plumbing supplies, blown installation, appliance parts and service, as well as sheet metal products. Gant is a proud sponsor of the Charlton Sports Network, Go Indians, and the Band of Pride.